You're listening to the AstroMommy Daily Horoscope, a forecast that hopes to shine a light in the dark, helping us all see where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. Whether you're a first-time listener or a long-time subscriber, thanks for being here. I truly appreciate you being in the AstroMommy community. I hope you enjoyed today's horoscope and card reading. If you would like to support the AstroMommy Newsletter, there are several ways to do so. Subscribe on Substack, share it with a friend, schedule a reading, check out my family's Etsy shop, Metaphysical Flamingo, or just leave a tip. Without further ado, here is the Daily Horoscope. The bigger picture, the nitty-gritty details, and the Tower card. Is your house on fire? Daily Horoscope for Friday, May 26, 2023. Good morning, friends. Okay, let's get into the astrology. Well, before I get into the nitty-gritty transits of the day, let's take stock of where we are at. So Mars is now at 3 degrees Leo, 22 minutes, and is a degree away from his square to Jupiter. So that is subsiding, and he is also 3 degrees away from his opposition to Pluto. So the sharpest part of that T-square is over. Now we are just dealing with whatever came up, was revealed, and how to move forward with that new reality. Mercury is now at 10 degrees of Taurus and is now starting to pick up speed, moving at about 48 minutes of arc per day, which is almost a degree. Mercury can get up to almost 2 degrees per day, so he's not at his fastest, but he is starting to move at least. This is good, and it means that things in our environments are starting to change. Conversations are happening, shifts are occurring, and whatever you learned during the Mercury retrograde cycle is becoming clearer and clearer. Mercury is still not out of his shadow until May 31st, though, so there's still more to be revealed. Uranus in Taurus has reached 19 degrees 53 minutes and will go all the way up to 23 degrees this year, before he stations retrograde in August. Uranus is now in the last decan of Taurus, the decan associated with the Seven of Pentacles and ruled by Saturn. So this represents noticing how far you've come and recognizing your accomplishments, but it's not time to give up just because it doesn't look like your ideal vision yet. It's hard work that we still need to keep plugging away at. It's not time to rest. We still need to tend to our crops, weeding, fertilizing, and watering them for the eventual harvest. And with Uranus in this space, the planet of sudden change and revolution, things can feel unpredictable and uncertain, and that can be really scary. The Sun is now at 5 degrees Gemini and is within 1 degree of perfecting a square to Saturn in Pisces, which will perfect over the weekend at 6:45 a.m. on Sunday morning on the East Coast. But we are in it already. The Sun represents our ambitions, our life forces, our vitality, and our spirit, and every year it squares Saturn twice, once before and once after the annual conjunction. This is the one after. We just had the Sun conjoin Saturn back in February of this year, but they were both in Aquarius. Saturn had not yet ingressed into Pisces. So this square is representing not only a normal Sun-Saturn tension, but also a whole new world in that we have moved away from the fixed squares to the mutable squares now. This means change. The mutable signs are all about the change in season. They all come at the times of the year before the equinoxes and the solstices and represent the air fluctuating from spring to summer, summer to fall, fall to winter, and winter to spring. There's always a little estuary of both the old and the new in a mutable season, and thus it is a time for transition. The Sun in a challenging square to Saturn can bring up major tests in life. How strong are the foundations in our life? Can we weather the storms of the emotion ocean? Can we handle the setbacks, losses, delays, or sacrifices that Saturn brings? It may feel like a time when we are having to pay the ultimate price for a previous decision, action, or ambition. Saturn requires a payment, a tax of some kind. And when the Sun forms a square with Saturn, this is often when the debt comes due. So that is happening today and over the weekend and may go on until the end of the month when the Sun disengages from the 3-degree range to Saturn in Pisces. Last but not least, Jupiter is at 2 degrees Taurus, 12 minutes, only 1 degree and 11 minutes of arc away from conjoining the North Node, which will begin next Tuesday, perfecting on Thursday. This represents a very destined, fated moment of redemption, blessings, and possibly good fortune. During the exact conjunction between Jupiter and the North Node on Thursday, the Moon will be in opposition to it in Scorpio, her fall, and Saturn will have moved to 7 degrees of Pisces, and Mercury will be within range of conjoining Uranus. This will be another pop-off moment that is coming up, so there's a lot going on. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty of Friday. At 2:38 a.m. Eastern Time on Friday morning, the moon in Leo forms a challenging square to Uranus in Taurus, and then at 3:36 a.m. Eastern Time, Venus in Cancer forms a sextile to Uranus in Taurus. So these two, the moon and Venus, are both making aspects first thing on Friday morning to unstable, revolutionary Uranus. The moon and Uranus in a square is like a sudden, unexpected fight, argument, or dramatic scene. Uranus may cause an earthquake that rattles the ground, and the moon in Leo has a very dramatic reaction to it, like running and screaming for the hills or just being overly theatrical in her response. So be prepared for something to get shaken loose on Friday and to feel some type of way about it. Venus and Uranus in a harmonious sextile, and with Uranus in Taurus, the home of Venus, is a lot softer and could be a period of comfort and consolation after the earthquake. Maybe things were shaken up and now there's comfort in something unexpected, like the beauty of a flower or a sturdy tree. Remember your value and come from a place of honesty and self-respect with this one. If there are trust issues that have come up over the last week, this is a time to stay grounded in what you can trust and find comfort in that. In the late afternoon on Friday at 4:05 p.m. Eastern Time, Mars and Leo squares the North and South nodes, respectively. What opportunities are around you that you can take action on? What are the things that you have, Taurus, versus the things that you desire, Scorpio? Getting clear on those things and taking action from a place of courage and heart, Leo, will help you navigate this transit. Then the moon goes through an interesting little quincunx dance with Neptune and Pisces as she finishes her time in Leo at 5:44 p.m., and then after she ingresses into Virgo, she forms a quincunx to Pluto in Aquarius, with both Neptune and Pluto almost in a sextile, but not quite until Pluto moves back into Capricorn next month. This configuration is almost a yod, but the sextile part of it is out of sign. It is still close enough that I think we can consider the influences of the yod all the same, a crisis point that represents a very uncomfortable tension, but one that is based on an opportunity for real spiritual change. The moon in Leo may want to completely do away with any uncertainty that Neptune is bringing to the table. To hell with the fog and chaos, she exclaims. There could be real feelings of wanting to disconnect from the fantasy or the ideal scenario that you've been playing out in your mind, and yet Neptune has a certain draw because of the chaos. At 11:04 p.m. Eastern Time, the moon ingresses into the sign of Virgo, and this is where reality will really sink in fully. The moon in Virgo has some harsh realities to face, as during her time here, she will immediately form that quincunx to Pluto, as I just explained, plus oppose Saturn on Saturday during her first quarter phase to the Sun, and then oppose Neptune on Sunday. Decisions, decisions, decisions. Figuring out what is solid and real and what is an illusion and fantasy. Those are the big questions for the weekend that we must sort through. With the moon in Virgo, there could be a healthy desire to clean up our environment, take care of the things we need to get done, and eliminate clutter. These could all be good, real things to do that may help us spiritually clean things out that need to be purged. Making space for the new world, the new you, and the new situations that are all emerging within all of us at this time is probably a good idea, so make some space. Clear out a corner of your house and dedicate it to something you want in your new life, whether that's a yoga center, a crystal altar, or a new place for your recycles. Whatever it is, make space for it. One of the things that I've been making space for is my new workout routine. I have the physical space, but I recently made the space in my schedule, which is huge because that means I will actually do it. Let's move on to the card for the day. What is the guidance for today? 16, the Tower. On this card, we see a tall tower perched on top of a rocky mountain. The tower has been struck by lightning and is on fire, flames licking the sky out of almost every window. Two people are falling from the tower, a king and a queen, face first, arms bracing for the inevitable impact. As the king falls to his death, his crown is liberated from his head, nearing the front of the card as if the onlooker is about to be struck in the face with the cold gold medal. The Tower card shows a scene of destruction, peril, and inevitable death. If the two people survive the fall, they will have a great deal to do once they have healed from their injuries. If they do not survive the fall, then the Tower represents a rebirth into whatever happens after death. The Tower represents a structure that we thought was solid being destroyed and burnt down by a single lightning strike. This is a symbol of something in our lives that we thought was solid suddenly changing. This can feel extremely abrupt, like a bolt of lightning, or you could have seen it coming, like noticing the storm clouds rolling in. Either way, when the lightning actually hits and you have to deal with the chaos of that present moment, it is emotionally hard and painful, and represents a sudden upheaval, change, or event that creates chaos, destruction, or at best, a spiritual awakening. So as the card for the day, we can expect to experience massive change, upheaval, destruction, and chaos. This could symbolize divorce, death of a loved one, financial failure, health problems, natural disaster, job loss, or any event that shakes you to the core, affecting you spiritually, mentally, and physically. This card reminds me of the song Burning Down the House by the Talking Heads. Just know that whatever is happening is being divinely guided and is ultimately for your highest good. Please feel free to share if you'd like in the comments, or you can reply privately to this email if you are experiencing a tower moment in your life and would like to talk about it. I hope this is helpful. Until tomorrow, AstroMommy.
Thank you for reading or listening to the Daily Horoscope. Quick links and resources can be found at the bottom of the newsletter. Today's card was pulled from the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot, available on Amazon. If you seek knowledge and enlightenment, the AstroMommy Newsletter may be right for you. Side effects of reading or listening to the AstroMommy Newsletter are common and include joy, jubilation, delight, happiness, gratitude, love, triumph, feeling in tune with the universe, experiencing deep insights, reflections, and contemplations, a lightened soul, a lighter step, feeling awake when others are asleep, illuminated, enlightened, having spiritual experiences, noticing repeating numbers, animals in nature, or songs on the radio that speak to you, getting vibes, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsmelliance, feeling like you know secret language, biophilia, crying tears of joy, emotional literacy, feeling lively, stable, exalted, having an auric glow, or feeling like you woke up on the right side of the bed have all been reported. If you purchase anything through the affiliate links that I provide in the newsletters, I will make a very small commission. Thanks for listening.